Kelly Colman, welcome to Global Woman.
Thank you
We're
so much.
very excited to bring you to our community and to this mini masterclass. Before I start the masterclass, I would love to record an interview, a short interview with you, which is going to go in my podcast. And then we are going to give you the mic and the stage to share.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And thank you, everybody. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thanks for the invite. I hope I can really bring some value to you. As Mirela said, I've been in product forever. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kelly. So, Kelly, we haven't heard before about you. I mean, at least personally, even though then when I discovered you, I thought, wow, this woman is a powerhouse. I mean, you have built not one business, but many businesses from scratch, and you have helped so many other people to build their business, and you have made it a huge success, which is incredible. But then when I met you and we started talking, I realized that you are a doer. You just go and do. You don't talk about it.
No.
Go and do it. So tell us a little bit more. When did it start, that passion for you to build a business and learn about how to build an online brand as well? And yeah, what inspired you?
Oh, thank you. Well, where do I get started? So many questions, so many great questions. So my product journey began, I used to be a professional dancer. So please don't sit there thinking that you are unqualified to be thinking about product or Amazon or even wanting to know more, because my passion began with being a professional dancer. And I was lucky enough to go all over the world dancing for pop bands and different things. And when I met my husband, we opened hair salons and I had a dance agency that was doing very well. And out of the salons, I saw all these women having their hair blow dried. And the thing that they would all do is reach into their handbag and they would start to put on their makeup. And I thought, we have salons, but we should have makeup. And that's how my journey began in 2005, many, many years ago, when I started my own brand. So I've always been a doer. I'm not really much about blowing my own trumpet. Now I love to help others. And with Amazon and the data that we have these days, it's so much easier, I feel, because we've got the data. And if we've got the brand know-how, we can put the two together and people can realize their dreams, and they can, whether it's one product or whether it's a whole brand, it's actually quite easy to do.
Well, it's easy for you and you make it easy. So thank you so much that you make it easy for us, because sometimes, you know, I've realized that people really complicate, and because they know it, it feels like overwhelming for us as well. So, and we know things are difficult until they become easy. At the beginning, did it feel that way to you when you started this, or it came like a vision, as a wake-up call or some kind of calling, or how did it come?
Well, everything was difficult because I launched the whole makeup brand with just 5 products. And if you know, as you know, as a woman putting on makeup, there's different skin tones and skin types, and having 5 products is a challenge. I tried to get into a department store. I tried to get into QVC. All of these things was very, very difficult. But luckily, after a few years, I did manage to get into department stores and on Amazon and in QVC around the world. And it took a while, took a lot of resilience, a lot of no's, a lot of rejection, that's for sure, but a hell of a lot of hard work. And that's why now, as you said, you don't realize how hard something is, well, how easy something is until you've done it over and over again. And now, like you guys in all of your business, when you know what to do, you see someone and you know instantly what they need, or perhaps you're in product, it's like, I just intuitively know there are different nuances, people are different, we've got different aspirations, but at the end of the day, it's a process. And that's just how the product game goes.
Yes, of course, it's a process. And like people like you, I believe they come with a big vision, like they say, yeah, think big, but start small.
Correct.
Was at any moment where the dream was so big and you felt a little bit like, wow, it's scary, but I'm going to do it anyway? So can you bring us an example where it's simple to understand? How can out of the blue, I mean, everybody would think, oh, okay, I want to create a cream, I want to do a makeup, I want to do a shampoo, but it's first it comes in your mind, yeah. It's all about
It's all
bringing
about
that
having,
vision to your
yeah,
mind. How did it come to you?
it was all about seeing the opportunity, seeing the women putting on their makeup and realizing that we were sending them away with nothing. And so for me, it was like, we've got these customers. How do we do that? And that was the beginning of my journey. Like, how is it makeup even made? And so I began going to trade shows and asking loads of questions, and bit by bit by bit, I started my journey. And I think with what I teach and what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to give you 4 of my secrets to success with products. And today I sell on Amazon, I sell in TK Maxx in lots of different countries. A lot of my students are very successful now on Amazon and different platforms. And they all take these 4 steps. So what I'm going to reveal to you tonight is going to give you some insights into Amazon and how the data works and the kind of research that you can do. So if you're thinking of an idea, the first thing that I always say to my students is, you need to see if this is a viable idea. Are people already buying something like this? Now, I know some of you are into your books, and I know some of you are publishing stuff already, and you perhaps way down the line. But there's some simple ways to check that there is demand in the market, because there's no point in making something that people don't want.
Well, yes, thank you for bringing this, because there is always a supply and demand. So
Correct.
without seeing the demand, you can't just invent something assuming that it's going to work.
Exactly.
But I'm very interested in your story. So what made you so in tune, feeling, using your intuition that this is going to work? Or if not, how did you get the courage and the confidence to just go and do it?
Well, I don't actually know, to be honest. I think I've always been quite a determined soul. And I think obviously being a dancer, you kind of putting yourself out there for criticism, and, you know, you've got to be quite confident. And I just saw this opportunity and I thought, like, I need to do this. And so, like I said, I just took the next step. And I think it is about that, like every day taking the next step. And sometimes you don't know the destination. You kind of have these hopes and dreams, and you don't actually know if you're going to make it. You don't know if it's actually going to be, it's going to happen. But I think every day it's trying to do one more thing, to take that next step. And then before you know it, in a week, you've taken so many steps, and you're like, you look back and you think, wow, like, I'm really doing it. So I think something that I've always lived by is just keep taking the next step, just keep taking. And sometimes you get knocked down, but then you just get back up and you start again. And, you know, I had 5 products to start with. I tried to get into Debenhams. Debenhams said to me, no. And I went back, and eventually they said yes. And then they gave me ladies fashion on the first floor, and I had this tiny little table. And I got some really good sellers who were really passionate. And together we made it into the main floor of Oxford Street. And then we became like the 2nd bestseller in there. And, you know, like, it was just one step and then another step. And I'm not going to tell you it was easy, because it wasn't. And, you know, like I said,
It was not easy, but it was worth trying over and over
exactly,
again. Yeah.
exactly. And it's also the lessons you learn along the way. And I think what's changed for me now is, obviously, once you've done the process, any process is easier the 2nd time, the 3rd time, the 4th time. And I think what I really like about today is, and I know people say sometimes it's not good today because, you know, we've got all this data and but for product, it's amazing, because you don't have to take the risk by investing tens of thousands of pounds thinking, oh, I'm not sure if people are going to buy this, because now we have the data. So if we take the data and we analyze it and we utilize it, plus putting the other side of the branding together, then we've got a winning formula. Now, obviously, you can't say that you've always got a winning formula, but if you're taking the data and you're making a great brand and you're bringing the 2 together, then it's going to be more or less a success. And I think
quite a few big messages here. Number one, I really love the way that you You just said, yeah, I went to and proposed for my product and they said no. And then I went again, they said yes. So, well, we don't know how many no's you got until you got a yes, but well done for
Thank you.
persisting and getting your
Thank
yes.
you.
And number two is like, yeah, this is very comprehensive. It's very interesting how, yeah, you bring it to the table, like, hey, do your due diligence, do your study, do your research, and bring the data together, do the branding. Now, you are coming as a dancer. You are coming from a very complete different background.
Absolutely.
So how did you manage to train yourself into this big world of data that sometimes we as women get scared when it comes to technology?
Well, I'm lucky.
Exactly. Well, I'm lucky enough now to have people around me. So I've got a team of people that work with me on my Amazon business. So we look after people's Amazon's business as well. We have contracts where we look after their brand and we grow their business for them. And so I have people that are really specialized in ads. I have people that are really specialized in listings, in optimization, because again, Amazon, it's a search engine at the end of the day. So we need to make sure, and I'll go into this in more detail, but we need to be sure that the keywords that people are typing in Amazon, and we can see how many thousands of searches a month are being done in any country, in Germany, in America, in the UK, it doesn't matter. We can see those data points. So when people click on them, are they actually getting a product that they want? You know, somebody might click something and they might land on something completely different, which probably means that Amazon doesn't have that product. So there are ways to find out about keywords. There are ways to, you know, there's a lot of intelligence, there's a lot of data there. So it's really a matter of how you can utilize that well. And as I said, because I've got different people on the team with different strengths, you know, you can't know everything on Amazon. It's impossible. It's growing every day. It's changing. The A9 algorithm change, like it changes. So, but what's important is to obviously have people in your team that are very, very good at their areas. So together we win.
Well done, because this is another interesting point. First you made it a big success before Amazon was in the table.
Yes, that's right.
You have kind of told yourself and the world that, you know what, I can do it anyway, whatever it takes. So you create your makeup brand, you put it into the market, you made it a success, you sold it out, and then you thought, how you do one thing, you do everything. Now, do you think that opportunities are bigger with the internet?
I think absolutely. I think the Amazon opportunity for everybody is massive. And people say to me every day, but you know, you're teaching people, like, aren't you scared? You're teaching them all your tricks. And I'm like, guys, there is enough room for every single one of you to have a business on Amazon. You wouldn't take away from my business.
Amazon
I wouldn't take away from your business. There's 9 million registered sellers on Amazon. There's 2 million that are really active. By active, I mean that are really good sellers. There are over 300 million sales being done through the Amazon channel a month. It's never, the people that are selling on Amazon are never going to grow at the same rate as the people that are buying. So it's how do we become a seller and not just a consumer? And I'm not saying that people aren't going to sell on Amazon because buy from Amazon, because I hope you all are. But at the same time, why not become a seller? Why not have one product? Someone like Michael, who's in California, hi. You know, your market is huge. I mean, you need one product there, one booming product there, and it's a runway success.